Hello, this is Dinah Lane from the Harwich Channel, and I am delighted to say that I am here today with Emily Mitchell, who is the Town Clerk of Harwich, and she is going to talk to us about all things elections. As we all know, there are elections coming up, and we all want to know what our part is in that. So, Emily, can you please just tell us, first of all, which elections are coming up?
Yes, thank you so much for having me. Very excited to share some details about our very busy 2024 fall election calendar. So the first election that's coming up most quickly is the state primary election. So that is scheduled for Tuesday, September 3rd, is election day itself. So polls will be open here at the Harwich Community Center for voters in all four precincts, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. But there are options for voters to vote before election day early. So two options for folks who may not want to come here on election day, busy that Tuesday, or just prefer to vote from the comfort of their home. So in addition to being able to vote in person on election day, voters do have the option to vote early by mail or early in person. So if folks want to vote by mail, process is very simple. They submit an application to our office. There is a deadline for that. It's Monday, August 26th by 5 p.m.
Okay.
They have to get that completed application to us.
Yes.
We'll mail them a ballot along with instructions for how to mark and return their ballot. It'll go to them at home or whatever they've indicated as their preferred mailing address.
Okay.
And then they do have to return that ballot to us so that it is received before the close of polls on election day itself. So by 8 p.m. on election day, September 3rd.
Which is September 3rd. Okay.
Yes.
Now, could I just ask a question?
Sure.
What if someone is not registered yet? Is it too late?
It is not too late. Great question. So folks have until Saturday, August 24th to register to vote or to make any changes to their voter registration. So if you need to update an address or your party affiliation, they have until the 24th.
Okay.
We are open on Saturday the 24th for voter registration until 5 p.m., 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So if folks want to stop in and register, they're welcome to do so. They can also submit a voter registration by mail.
Okay.
And we need to receive it by that date, that Saturday the 24th.
Okay.
Or they can register online through the Secretary of State's office. And we can include a link to that website if folks want to register online. And if they do the online version, they actually have until 11:59 p.m., so a few extra hours to submit their registration that day.
Good to know.
Yes.
All right. So you are having an event to inform people about this and to take questions, any sort of questions that people would have about the process of voting and specifically in this election. So can you talk about that? I know it's August 20th. But...
Yes, I'm very excited. So this is our first time holding an event on all things election process. So it's process focused. It's not about candidates or ballot questions or policies. It's really just about how we run elections. So it is on August 20th, which is a Tuesday, 5 to 6 p.m. here at the Community Center, called Trust the Process. And we're planning to cover a wide range of topics. So anything from the voting methods we just talked about, voting by mail, early or in person, talking about how we update and maintain our voter lists, talking about the type of election equipment we use on election day, how we certify election results after the event has concluded, and really any questions that folks have. We know this is a topic that's really kind of in the public conversation right now, and we're encouraging folks to get information straight from the source. So it'll be part information session. I'll have some information to present and materials to distribute, but I'm envisioning it primarily as a Q&A. So I hope folks will come with their questions. They can send them in advance. They can ask during the event. We're planning to give folks an option to ask anonymously if they don't want to step up to the microphone necessarily, but to still have their question answered.
So they could write out a card ahead of time, is that
Yes.
and then you read them?
Exactly.
Excellent.
Yes. So we're very excited. We hope folks come. It is an in-person event. So here again at the Community Center in the large multi-purpose room, folks are welcome to come with lots of questions and hopefully to get lots of good information.
Great. And I'm sure that you will cover this in that session, but just talking about enrolled voters and unenrolled voters is something that we just briefly touched on, and I think it would be helpful for people to understand what happens if you have registered in one party when you come for the election. What does that mean if you want to remain unenrolled?
Excellent.
Talk about that.
So so this September election is a primary. So that means it's the way that the various political parties choose their nominees for office. So every ballot is party specific. So for this election, there'll be a Democrat ballot, a Republican ballot, and a Libertarian ballot. Those are the political parties that are recognized in the state of Massachusetts. They all have the same offices on them, just different candidates who are running for their party's nomination. So if someone is registered with a party, say, for example, they're registered as a Republican, they are only able under state law to vote a Republican ballot. So when our election workers check that voter in, they'll see that the voter is enrolled in a party and know to give them that party's ballot.
I see.
If someone is unenrolled, so they're not enrolled in a party, it's a term that folks commonly think of as independent, but the technical term is unenrolled. They are welcome to vote in a primary election. They just have to choose which party's ballot they want to vote when they check in.
Okay.
So they'll vote that party's ballot, but voting does not change their party enrollment status. So when they leave election day, they remain registered as an unenrolled voter.
Okay. So one more question.
Yes.
If someone has been enrolled as, for instance, a Democrat, and they want to re-enroll as a Republican, is it too late for them to do that now?
It is not. So they can still change your party status, so either from one party to another, or from a party to unenrolled, or vice versa, right through that voter registration deadline. So August 24th for the state primary, you can make those changes.
Okay, but they cannot do it in the moment. They cannot say, no, I don't want that ballot, I want a different ballot.
Exactly. And we do see folks who get to election day, say they're registered in a party, and they really don't want to vote that party's ballot. And unfortunately, just the way the state law is written,
you can't do anything about it.
You can't do anything about it. So folks should keep that August 24th date in mind if they're thinking about a change to party.
That's very helpful to know.
Thank you.
Okay, great. So the final election is November 5th?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Yes, so we are gearing up, of course, for the big election, the presidential. So that's about 2 months after the primary. Tuesday, November 5th. So we'll have a lot more information coming out to voters in advance of that as well.
And are there other issues on the ballots in September?
So there are no ballot questions on the ballot for September. It's only races, so for offices. But we do anticipate that the presidential election will include a series of ballot questions.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So people should inform themselves, and I'm sure there will be plenty of information out there.
Yes.
And we will hopefully meet again here before this all finally takes place in November.
Absolutely. I would love to be back.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming in. Your information is very clear, and I'm sure it's very helpful to everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm here with Emily Mitchell, the Town Clerk of Harwich, and my name is Dinah Lane from the Harwich Channel. Thank you.